Wonderful. Okay, so we can hop over this nice trade breakdown here. Let's delete all of this. As you can see, we have a nice Friday trade, which we will delete the irrelevant stuff here. And let's focus on Thursday, because I told you Thursday will be, well, in this case, the low, I think, of the week. Monday was the high, Wednesday or Tuesday was the push lower, Wednesday, sorry, was the low of the week. Thursday then remitigated 50% of this range. The thing is, we still closed bearish. Okay, so like Friday did its own thing, but if we drop down lower into the 15-minute time frame, and let's hop straight into Wednesday, we can wait for a trade below the open, which is 0-0. So this is the true open, and we can then mark out a nice key area, which is previous day low. You see here previous day low getting gripped. You wait for an additional shift, and then you see the high, which broke the low, getting candle closed. After this, I personally entered for a long. In between here, stop loss below this swing low, and my take profit was all the way above here. The thing is, you have a bunch of liquidity here. You also got trendline liquidity sitting here. So you could already take partials above here, which isn't even 50%, but if you see this high, which is an order block also, if you use it like this, is exactly at around 50%. That's where I personally would have taken partials for my first, well, partial hit. Then we remitigate this, and then we come higher. And personally, I thought Asia will all be a little bit more volatile on Thursday. This trade is still running, okay? It wasn't, and you had nice re-entry possibilities below the open, which I personally also took. So I re-entered here after the CISD, stop loss below the swing low, and then my take profit was this here. So I think I closed this trade around here after we started to consolidate with 0. nothing percent. So it was basically irrelevant, because I don't like to hold trades over the day, and also my broker, I think, doesn't allow me, but well, I don't care. We still got the re-entry possibility, and also if you look at it, if you know that Wednesday will form the low of the week, you can mark out this wick as a rejection block. And I think I also made a trade breakdown on this here, but there is just absolutely nothing in this rejection block. As you see, there is completely nothing. This here, this big range got mitigated. The only thing which would be, well, could be working is this. This already got mitigated twice, and the third time. The only thing which is open is this rejection block, which I absolutely don't give a shit about, because it's the 15-minute rejection block, which is not a nice key area. In this case it worked out, but I personally just waited for a shift. After this shift, I then took partials at exactly this level at 50%, or in this case I think above Asia, yeah. So I took partials here with around 2%, and I also made 2% on the funded account and also on this account. I am up, what date is this? This is 30. Yeah, I risked 5% on this trade. I wanted to risk 0.5, but well, 5% is also good, so I made around 3%, yeah, 3-4%, which is 17k. If you risk 5%, which you should not do, but well, And this was Thursday, so I didn't took a trade here after all. So this was the day. And if you now hop into the daily time frame, the only relevant thing that you could have seen is also, you see here, you have a fair value gap. And this fair value gap got filled at 50%. Personally, I want to see it coming lower in between here. So this fair value gap got filled, sorry. And then you have this big ass rejection block, which you then can use into a 2-hour time frame for Friday. So you have this rejection block where you see you have this nice fair value gap. And if we right now go into the 15-minute time frame, for Friday, I personally just wanted to sell above the open. So we wait to see what Friday does. Friday starts to consolidate. We come above the open, and this is the point where I personally entered into a 2-minute time frame. I think even in the 1 minute, I don't usually trade this, but after this CISD here, I personally entered for some sells. This isn't nice at all, but well, I wanted to take a trade here. I took a trade, I took the opportunity, and I entered all the way up here, and my take profit was these lows here, yes. So I entered for a sell in between here. You also filled this area, or this nice order block here, perfectly. So you traded above the open, you filled an order block, and then you came lower where you could have entered for a supply trade, which, well, is complete bullshit since we don't trade this, but yeah. And after that, that was the trade for Friday. The thing is, if you hold the trade and you target this fair value gap down here, which we, well, kind of mitigate or are about to mitigate, then you would have gotten stopped out, which is totally fine because this big ass rejection block just got mitigated. If this here would have mitigated this, well, then most of the times, or most likely, the trade would have worked out. It didn't, so you got liquidity here, very nice liquidity, equal highs. But well, who knows that these are equal highs? In the moment you just see, okay, you mitigate, you come higher, you mitigate nothing, okay, you're above the open, you can sell. And it also worked out, but just all the way down to Asia. And if you wanted to hold the trade for longer, you would have had to use the overall key area to look for a trade above, and then press sell. The thing is, there was absolutely no sell confirmation in between here. The only CISD would have been this, and this CISD would have given you a negative risk to reward, which is not quite nice, but well, happens. So I fully focused only on this trade, where I made, I think, 2% or 1 or 2% on my funded, and I think also a few bucks, like 1.5% on the demo account, which is solely for backtesting. So this is Friday, and if we right now hop into the daily time frame, we can see very, very nicely we are bearish. We're about to mitigate this area here. We have this key area, we hop down lower into the 2-hour time frame, and then we can nicely see we have this nice order block. And if we, I think in the 1 hour, yeah, in the 1 hour you have this fair value gap which got mitigated. So I personally think that Monday will hopefully consolidate, will come lower and then expand higher. If not, then the week could be simply something like this. That would also be quite nice, because then we have a weekly turtle soup. If we up into the 4-hour time frame, you also have an order block. You have this this fair value gap. So personally, for what I am waiting for right now, let's mark it out together. Monday to Monday. We have this as a key area. We go down to the 2-hour time frame, which is the weekly profile. We are heavily bearish. We then wait for a trade into this area. Okay. And then we can expect previous week high to get run, which is a liquidity point. So that's my point of view. Hopefully we'll consolidate. Tuesday will form the low, maybe expand even higher. And if we only expand above here, that's totally fine, because then next week is guaranteed to be something like this. But that's simply it. That's my outlook for next week, my forecast. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you on Tuesday.